So, ladies and gentlemen, and fountain pen aficionados everywhere in this world, welcome to another review, this time about the latest fountain pen from Junlai, the model 930. 9 because of the number 9 nib on this fountain pen. But before we are going down to business, going into the details, let me say some words. First of all, thank you very much for all my reviewers and for all my followers. Thank you for the time you're investing, and thank you for watching my videos. And I know sometimes they might be a little bit boring. This is because of my presentation style, which I also do not like very much, but I can't help it. It's a health issue. I am missing words when speaking, and when trying to concentrate to get them back quickly, they are not there anymore. There is no cure for it. I have to play the cards the dealer throw on my table. Sorry for that. The second thing what I want to mention is this is most probably the last video for a longer period about newly acquired Chinese fountain pens which are worth to review. Simply because I decided to stop definitely buying from AliExpress any longer. And that has many reasons. And if you are interested, I am planning to do a video about that. In general, about AliExpress, the issues I found and which are bothering me, and but also about some Indian fountain pen producers and dealers. So if you're interested in this, it's not a review about fountain pens, but more or less a review about the dealers and manufacturers and price developments during the last 2 years, where I'm not happy about them. And so I think it is also worth talking about that. At least let me give you my perspectives. Maybe you follow them, maybe you can accept them, maybe you will say, poor, that's all okay. It is as it is. I pay, I lay my money down, and I don't care about price developments. Anyway. So, enough of the preliminaries, let's dive into the fountain pen. So, this is the red colored barrel and cap with a golden colored finish trims. Quite nice, nicely made. This is the piston. The piston knob, and here we have that cap band, which is pressed on, so you clearly can feel the metal. Maybe for some of you that is a disturbing factor, not for me so much. The clip, yeah, it's quite well made, and we will talk functional, I would say, a little bit stiff, but functional. And we will talk about that later when comparing this fountain pen, which is quite large, quite huge, with the Kanwrite Mammoth. But this will be the first generation. I do not have the Mammoth X or Mammoth 10. And yeah, this ring is also fastening the clip, opening and it reveals this absolutely quite huge I can bring that closer to you. This quite huge number 9. In reality, I measured it here. It is 8.7 millimeters. I didn't take that whole nib unit apart just to measure the distance at the very end of the nib. So here at this part it is 8.7 millimeters. Okay, let's say it is 9 millimeters. It's a huge nib, and I think I got an F. I got it in F because the dealer where I bought it at $40, I think this price was the lowest, didn't offer M and B nibs. So it's a bicolor nib, golden color and steel. And what does it say? It says June L for Junlai 2013. Yes, and it is F. The nib is writing quite well, but and it's writing also in reverse. So I took some notes, and from time to time I have to look at the notes in order to make it more fluent. Gold trims, burgundy color. The cap is opening with one full turn. Yes, one full turn. That's already a very positive thing. But the ink capacity, looking at this huge barrel, is only 2 milliliters. I expected much more. But I think I saw a video from Inquiring Minds workbench, his workbench series, where he showed how to take the piston apart and the nib apart and the unit and seal it properly, because also he saw and had that leaking issue. And thanks to Vincenzo from Fountain Pen Therapy, he made me aware in one of his last videos, before inking this fountain pen up, check and loosen, take out the nib unit and check if there are 2 O-rings. If one is missing, especially here on the top, then you will have for sure an ink leakage problem. So coming back to the ink capacity, in the video of Doug from Inquiring Minds, he disassembled also the piston without having the proper tool. I don't have it as well, simply because Chinese dealers tend to send their fountain pens to their customers without a box and without all the parts which are put in the box by the manufacturers, like for example a fitting wrench. In my case, I only got, like Doug and many others, I only got a small vial with some silicone oil, even not silicone grease. So he showed how to take apart the piston, and the piston is quite large, and most probably this is the reason why the ink capacity, even given here this, looking at this very large barrel, is so low with only 2 milliliters. and I had really problems to ink that club up. It took me up to 7 attempts to ink up, and I put it in an ink glass which was really full, just as they said, like this, and you don't need to cover here the grip section into ink, and just ink it up. Yeah, wishful thinking, absolutely not. I did this several times and I found out no ink in it. Of course, the feeder was saturated, but there was no ink in the barrel. Why do I know that? Because I measured the weight again, and the weight uninked without the cap is 27 gram, which is not much, to be honest. It's, I would say, a little bit maybe about average, and it depends also if you like heavier pens or if you prefer slim, small, and not heavy pens. But anyway, I think 27 gram is quite good. After several attempts of inking up, trying to ink up, still 27 grams. So then I said, okay, I have to change the way, and then suddenly after the grip section was up to here in ink, yes, I got 2 milliliters. All in all, 7 attempts, and as I said, the feed was absolutely saturated. And I have to say, I hope you can see that a little bit better. Yeah, that's a huge feed, and also the fins here are not really the most sturdy ones. They are not that flimsy like on the Lemon M6 or the Majon V60, but they are also quite flimsy. Maybe I can do this better. Yeah, you can see it here now. They are looking quite sturdy under the magnifier, but they are not. So it's recommendable when you try to unscrew the nib unit, use a grip like a rubber, and put it here and here, touch it here and here, and then turn the grip section, not here. Don't put more force than absolutely necessary on nib and feed. Yeah. So the cap seals, or the cap is sealed, yes, absolutely. Inside here there is a liner, and I had no drying issues with it. And of course, the how to say, the ink leakage. That ink leakage happened to me as well. But the pen didn't leak and spilled ink all over as many other reviewers reported, and also in comments I saw that a lot. It was more that somewhere ink, a little bit of ink was during writing, I found on my fingers, and I didn't know where that comes from. So I checked the whole barrel, the grip section, because I thought maybe there is a fine crack simply due to the fact that the parcel arrived absolutely crumpled after 20 days from China to Thailand. Yeah, another issue which I'm going to talk about in this announced video about AliExpress. And so, but there was no crack, only what I found out and what I saw in my case, and I don't say that this is always the case, the feeder was absolutely saturated with ink, much too much ink. So the first thing I did, taking a tissue and getting off the ink, which was absolutely too much, and the tissue was immediately full of ink, absolutely full of ink. And then I stored it upside down for a few hours. And also this pen now has been stored for, I would say, 48 hours upside down. Yesterday I checked it after 24 hours and it was writing immediately. No hard starts, no nothing. And I think, based on that oversaturated feed, that ink somehow was splashed because of moving writing, came to my fingers, came on the paper, and that was the reason for the, let's say, unwanted ink splashes. It was not a leak like that. So this fountain pen didn't leak on me as it happened to many others. So I talked already about the packaging, which was crumpled, and it was really a wonder that the pen was unharmed, arrived here unharmed. On the manual, which I received as well, of course Chinese, but it doesn't matter because there are also pictures in it. There is a Junlai website stated. Don't try it; it doesn't work. This website, this domain is for sale. I really don't know what that means, what that is. Yeah, as I said already, reverse writing is very well, is doing a quite nice extra fine line. And the ink flow is absolutely excellent. Sorry for the break again, but I have to check my notes. Yeah, total shipping time, I talked about that. From China, Guangdong to Bangkok, 20 days. In my book, absolutely unacceptable. Simply why? Because last year, AliExpress and AliExpress standard shipping, parcels arrived within sometimes 6 days, in average 8 days, sometimes 10 or even 12 days, here at my door. So suddenly 15, 16, 20 days, and this is also something absolutely unacceptable. And also the fact that most sellers are not offering different shipping methods, shipping opportunities, even with an adder, so that the buyer can choose if he wants to pay something extra in order to get the shipment quickly and to get his fountain pen or whatever he is ordering from Ali more rapidly. Nothing like that any longer. It's a large pen. It has huge diameters, and I will compare it soon with the Kanwrite Mammoth. Capped, it has an overall length of 166 millimeters with 41 gram in total. So that means the cap is 14 grams. The weight of the cap is 14 grams. And uncapped, it is 151 millimeters and 27 gram. So in total 29 gram after I inked it up and reached 2 milliliters of ink. The diameter grab at the very bottom, close to the nib, is 13.3 millimeters, that is here. The diameter of the barrel, that the largest part I measured, is 15.8 millimeters. Posting, yes, it is possible, and it posts quite securely. And then we end up with 188 millimeters. It's a little bit too long, a little bit long, but it's not really back weight. And surprisingly, when writing, it gave me a little bit more stability. That's a feeling. That's my feeling. I don't know if that happens to other users as well. So the capacity of ink, 2 milliliter only. That's what I measured. Maybe others have got more luck, but I doubt it because the piston is really very, very long. I encountered the same problem with that S-Wine J16 titanium piston, where the ink capacity is also quite low, and I think it was, I measured less than 2 milliliters, and basically I believe this is because there is a very long piston rod attached to the piston, to the whole piston unit. Yeah, several attempts before I got these 2 milliliters. And yeah, here I'm talking about, or I just read my notes, the oversaturated feed, and then kept it in an upright position. So I talked about that already. Yeah, the cap bands, what does it say? It just says Junlai 930, made in Shanghai. And holding the pen. Yeah, if you have large hands like me, I think they are not very large, very big, very meaty. But yes, it is, in my book, comfortable. It is absolutely comfortable. I can hold it easily, and I can have longer writing sessions with it, as I did already. We even kept, and as I said, it gives me the feeling of a little bit more stability. And I saw Vincenzo's review about this, Vincenzo from Fountain Pen Therapy. I saw his review, and he was not that very happy. First of all, sure, the ink leaks. But second, he had the feeling that he cannot control the big nib. Or, yeah, I do not have this issue. It's for sure personal. It's an issue, a personal issue. So I don't have this. I can control the nib very well during writing, but I also have to say, I touching the grip section at the very end. So the nib is large, but I don't have a control issue with it. The nib was writing out of the box absolutely well. It is tuned well, it is smooth. There is a little bit of bounce, and it is a little bit stiff as well. A good steel nib should be like that, to be honest. So this is the end of my notes, and that means I have to come back to you with a writing sample. So let's see. That was another operation now, and I have to move the camera a little bit in order to put it on that clipboard. I made a mistake when I ordered that clipboard because I had already an A4 clipboard and I wanted to get an A5, but I pushed the wrong button. Yeah, anyway, that was not expensive, $1 or something, $1.50, something like that. And the advantage was I could get it within 2 days from a Bangkok seller. Now I have to order an A5, a little bit more sophisticated, from a Chinese dealer. Why in Bangkok dealers don't offer A5 clipboards, wooden A5 clipboards? No idea. I can't explain that. So now I have to change a little bit the Nah. What was that now? Don't know. Zoom. Come. So the community wants to see how you write. Junlai. No hard start. Or is there a little? Yes, there is a little hard start, but not a big problem. Junlai 9:30. As I said, 48 hours in an upright position. So is the feet saturated still? No, it is not. So that's okay. Quite now. 9:30. It's a Junlai nib number 9. So in reality 8.7. It's an F nib. Steel. It's an F nib steel. Junlai. It's an F nib steel. F. Oh, I did that already. Something else to say about? No. What do we say? What do we write? The quick? Brown. Fox. Drums. No, an M, no? 1, 2, 3. Drums. Over. You see, when I put a little bit more pressure on the nib, there's also more ink flow. Drums over. The lazy dog. this inflow, this higher inflow, continues without pressure. As you can see here, this was written without pressure. Where's the lazy dog? The dog is here. Lazy dog. Yeah, it's quite okay for an F-nib. As I said, my handwriting under the camera is not very good. Let's make a couple of eights, figure eights. That is without pressure. This is now with pressure. Line variation, no, only here a thicker line, no? A little bit of a thicker line. So, let's go here, some upstrokes, some downstrokes, side strokes. Yeah, to be honest, it is smooth. It is writing very well and out of the box, as I said before. So the nib really gave no issues. So, let's do a comparison with a fountain pen I acquired a few years ago. Let's go back with a zoom. Show it. The Kanwrite, that's the first generation. And compare it with the Junlai. So you can see, I think you can see still even the angle is not the best, but the Kanwrite is longer. And indeed, the Kanwrite, they are boasting at Kanwrite, this is the largest fountain pen in the world. Well, at least the Junlai still has to grow a little bit if it wants to reach the length and the girth of this fountain pen. To be honest, I absolutely don't care what is the largest fountain pen in the world. I have now at least two large fountain pens, which are very, very nice. Writing well, and writing with this Kanwrite, yeah, is quite nice. But what I have to complain about, and this is really something I hate, and I don't know what they thought at Kanwrite, and I am quite sure still the second generation, the Mammoth X or Mammoth 10, it has the same flimsy, low quality and too short clip. This clip is a joke. You can see here, that's all where the small ring put on, closed, and you have a ring which is also stained during the time. I think I have this thing now 2 years, and here you can see there are some stains. I'm not very happy about that, but it simply is the very, very bad quality of this clip, which really doesn't fit. If you look here, and if you compare that quite big clip, quite sturdy clip, very well functioning clip, and then this joke here, flimsy, thin, a piece of metal which is not worth to use the word metal. I really have no idea what they thought at Kanwrite. Most probably that was an economical issue. Simply they had a lot of these clips, and why not putting it on this really, really very big fountain pen? It looks shit, crap. I'm not sure if it's an aesthetic thing as well. So taking off the cap and then having this thing in the hand, great, absolutely great, fantastic. It writes like charm. There is also a very big converter in it. So the ink capacity, I think, is, yeah, you can see here the ink capacity is most probably larger than in here. Writing with it, as I said, absolutely no problem. It's a lot of fun. And let me compare them, putting them here on the you see the difference in length. I put it up here. I think most probably the Junlai is longer, and maybe the Kanwrite is not really a number 9, as well as the Junlai, as I said, 8.7 millimeters. Maybe this one is also a little bit less. Trying to show it better. And maybe the loop helps as well. It does a little bit. Yeah, a tiny longer Junlai tip. Maybe 1.5 millimeters. Yeah, could be possible. I didn't measure it, but what do I see? It's not in line. Hey, no. It's the nib seems to be shorter on the Kanwrite, but this is minor, absolutely minor issue. And with that Kanwrite clip here, I'm not sure if I can remove easily this top here. No, it seems to be glued, so I have to if I want to remove that funny thing here, I have to heat it up, most probably not more than 60 degrees with a hairdryer. Not with a heat gun, maybe this is too much, and remove this funny thing here. Maybe had to put an O-ring here in order to seal it, to keep it sealed. Yeah, anyway, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. The tarnishing here, this is really something I also do not like, simply because, you know, I mean, Thailand is a hot and humid country, and many things got really tarnished very quickly. But this is the result of the climate, hot and humid. India is the same, hot and humid climate, maybe even hotter, and maybe sometimes even, depending where in India people are living, not in the north, close to the Himalaya mountains, but down south for sure. And I think they should know what they have to do in order to make a proper plating, that the fans are not or that the metal parts are not getting easily tarnished. Yeah. $80 Kanwrite, $40 Junlai. So my verdict, which is just personal, of course. This one is, compared to this one, a bargain, the Junlai. This one is completely overpriced, and I think the second generation is already above $110. Don't buy it. To be honest, not at this price. This is ridiculous. If you want to hear my estimation, I think that this thing should cost lower than this. So a price of $35 would be justified. The pen is nothing special, the material is nothing special, and $80 are not justified at all, and 100 and something for sure as well not. Regardless how beautiful it looks, and I'm sure this is not resin, this is acryl, so again $80. But I was fascinated when I got the offer from Kanwrite, because it wasn't mentioned on their website, and that for 2 years they came out with this fountain pen. I saw it on YouTube from a reviewer who bought it, and I don't know how he get hold of it. But then I ordered some nibs from Kanwrite, and don't get me wrong, the nibs from Kanwrite are great. I have no problems with them. The only problems I have with Kanwrite Ultraflex steel. In my book, these are not steel nibs. This is a mix of very soft metals in order to keep them very soft, and they are bending too easily when flexing. I had only problems either with the FPR nibs, and FPR Fountain Pen Revolution is getting his nibs from Kanwrite. Kanwrite is the producer of these nibs, and they are selling them identically, only without the FPR branding, and I absolutely do not like to write with these nibs, but the other nibs, steel nibs and titanium nibs, and maybe also the gold nibs, I don't know. I didn't buy gold because they are still too expensive. They are only too expensive, overpriced for 1-2 grams of a little bit of a nib, and paying more than $100, $150, $200, whatever. No, I don't see the necessity to do that. So the nib is these steel nibs, the titanium nibs, and the flex nibs, and all nibs made from a sturdy, maybe stiffer anyway, much stiffer material are good. I'm in the process now. I have placed an order with Kanwrite for 2 nibs, italic, B italic grind. And I hope that they will, because I don't have an italic grind. I only have stub, but the normal italic grind nibs I do not have, because simply they are by far too expensive, and I didn't want to spend that money. So now I hope that for the $10-15 which I will get for which I had to pay for a standard Kanwrite threaded nib unit with this, they say, cursive italic B nib, and also for a Yovo threaded nib that will pay off. I also bought a Kanwrite Heritage fountain pen, even though I know some reviewers didn't like the pen at all, and some reviewers were quite heavy about, quite happy about it. So it's a piston filler as well, and it's coming with a normal M nib, but I want to do a swap with this italic nib, and then I have to choose another pen from my collection, a Jowo threaded fountain pen from my collection, and I really hope that these nibs will work out, and then I have also an italic grind. Okay, that's it from my side for today. Thank you very much for watching. It's a long video, I know, 45 minutes, but a lot of issues I wanted to talk about, and I hope this time my presentation was a little bit better for you to follow and not that boring. As I said, I don't have a cure for my problems regarding not being able to remember words which I know perfectly, but when trying to speak them out, they are gone. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day. Have a nice week. A good week. Take care of yourself. Take care of your fountain pens. And as always, enjoy your fountain pens. Goodbye.